welcome to the IPL's Big Secret, a NewsX special report. Now, 2020 cricket came first and then the IPL. Now, what it brought with it was a never-ending circus of big hits, sixes flying far and wide. But then, wait, did you think that the batsmen have suddenly become superhumans out there? Well, maybe, but it is with a little bit of help from the equipment on view. NewsX has this exclusive report. All right, so you heard the ball manufacturer. They're telling us there is a little difference. It does help the batsman a little bit. Now then, let me introduce you to our panel here. Akash Chopra, closest to me, Anjum Chopra, both of them cricketers, of course, and Ashish Shukla, senior cricket journalist, are all with us. And let me tell you first, clarify that none of the three people who are going to be talking with us here were told what the story is. We didn't want to fix their answers, so to say. We wanted to know how they react, and the reaction we got really is that we've been seeing so many mishits going for six these days. All that makes this somewhat more believable, doesn't it? Just the fact that whether the IPL is asking for this to happen or it's someone else altogether, just the fact that the balls should be a bit more batsman friendly.
A little more difficult
Ashish Shukla, Anjum, of course, is talking about an ideal world. We've all said it. All former cricketers keep talking about how cricket is entirely a batsman-dominated out there. That's a reality. That's not what we're discussing here. What we're discussing is how the help is going out to the batsman a bit more. The boundaries are shorter. The bats that are coming out, Akash mentioned the mongoose and this.
Well, Shaumya, I guess when I look at Akash and I remember smelling the leather, which is an opener's role, would have an absolutely different meaning now when the leather is in a different format altogether. And perhaps we have an answer to why Jack Carlis of all batsmen are hitting so many sixes. But come to think of it, yes, the boundaries are shorter, and we have batsmen who usually have done well. I mean that they, in all forms of the game, be it Matthew Hayden, Yusuf Pathan, they hit big sixes. So it is a help, but big people will still
Ashish Shukla, you're the only non-cricketer apart from me in this slot. We've all played cricket as kids, Ashish, and all of us were fascinated, weren't we? When we opened the ball, an old ball, you take off the seam and you see what's actually inside, and there are the two semicircles, the hemisphere that are sort of attached, and there's wool around it. That's gone. It's a whole generation shift.
It is a generation shift, but if we are talking technically about it, I mean that the first question which comes to your mind is whether it is 5.5 ounce or whatever is the weight of a ball. And secondly, I remember the cork ball by nature bounces a bit more, even though there is a movement, might be a bit of a casualty, but it bounces a bit more and it goes farther. There is no doubt about it. And I might disagree with Akash here, because I think IPL is geared for one end, and that is a complete entertainment, which makes it such a big property.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
So I think it might be a case where a bit of tampering. We have seen a lot of tampering has been done, not a ball tampering kind of thing, but a lot of traditional roles of the game have changed in IPL. We don't have an anti-corruption unit still functioning in IPL. So a lot of things have been.
So in India, low bounce, bottom heavy. In Australia, higher bounce, the more meat in the middle. In the mongoose bat, well, no middle at all. It's essentially just the lower part of the bat that has any wood whatsoever. But while we were showing that story,
because the bats are not condensed.
But Ashish, if what Akash is saying is right, that you choose the bat that's most suitable to your style of play, and Ashish, the most suitable way of playing for all youngsters is to hit those sixes in the IPL, because that's where you're going to earn all your money, then it changes completely.
I think we are specifically talking about T20, and since it is only 20 overs and a batsman is likely to bat only 12-14 overs, I think it makes sense to carry an equipment which helps you hit bigger. So traditionally, yes, every batsman likes to have a feel of the bat and feel comfortable about it. But in this format, when you are not hitting straight, as Anjum tried to say, and if you are going for paddle sweeps or Dilshan scoops or all those vacant spaces in the field which you want to exploit, and then I think, see, T20 is innovation, and I think you need to keep trying things. And
Anjum, what we might be losing as a process are probably a generation of cricketers who might never be able to bat for 2 days in the Test, IPL and other 2020 matches. For the moment, Akash Chopra, Anjum Chopra and Ashish Shukla, thanks ever so much for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something different about the IPL today with what we showed you. Thanks a lot for tuning in.